And then I think autobiographically, I've been in sort of church members meetings where something potentially controversial, an issue is going to be discussed, and you just sort of get this sense that everyone's a little on edge about it.
Mm.
And maybe everyone has this sort of latent sort of micro PTSD from bad church experiences in the past.
Mm.
And I think that often keeps us from wanting to have good, robust conversations about disagreements in church settings.
Mhm.
So we tend to stuff it, right? So we don't, or we say such bland things and make sure it's very obvious that we still love each other and agree with each other, right? And we don't really have a good, robust discussion until maybe someday, years down the road, where it blows up and then we split, right? You know? And I think if we could do triage better, we could come to those discussions and say, hey, the type of issue we're discussing is a third tier issue, right? So at the end of the day, wherever we turn out, none of us is questioning the other side's motives or godliness.
Mm.
We're not kicking anyone out of the church over this, right? We can then, that would allow us to speak more freely, right? To have a really robust discussion about why we think certain things, why we disagree with
Mm.
this, knowing this is not something that's at risk of blowing up the church, right?
Mhm.
Because we've thought through what are the types of things that should and shouldn't do that. Does that
Mhm.
make sense? I think I
Yeah,
got,
I think that does. Yeah. That's hard to do.
yes.
You know,
Yeah,
that is
it
hard to
is.
do.
Yeah. But I think at least it's the type of thing we should be aiming for,
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not going to doesn't solve all the problems, but at least if we can have some of those thoughts in our mind before um, before those difficult conversations happen, maybe down the road we can be a little more at ease with being real with each other on what we agree and
Mhm.
disagree on.